For this project, I'll be crocheting 2 strands of the yarn together with a 6mm crochet hook. First, let's start off by making a slip knot. Wrap the yarn around your 2 fingers like this. Then remove the yarn and pull the yarn through the loop and pull up, and now you got a loop. Insert your hook into the loop and adjust the size of it by pulling the yarn, and now you got a slip knot. Now let's make chains. Yarn over and pull through, and you got 1 chain. Yarn over again and pull through the loop, and you got the second one. You will have to make a total of 17 chains. Now I finished making the chains, and it is about 4.5 inches long. Now let's move on to making round 1. To start round 1, skip the first chain, and in the second chain, make 2 single crochets. So insert your hook, pull the yarn, and pull through. Now you got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through those 2 loops, and you made 1 single crochet. This is the very first stitch, so put a stitch marker on this one so you will not lose the start point of round 1. Then to make 2 single crochets, you will have to make the second one in the same stitch. So this becomes 2 single crochets, which is an increased stitch. Then we will move on to making 1 single crochet in each and every chain until you got 14 single crochets. So for this, now I'm making 1 single crochet each until I got 14 single crochets. After making 14 single crochets, there will only be 1 chain left, and in that last chain we will make 3 single crochets in 1 stitch. So now there's only 1 chain left, and in this last chain I will make 3 single crochets. So now I'm making the first one, now the second one, and this is the third one. After this, we will continue making single crochets on this side of the chains. So into the next stitch, make 1 single crochet. So insert your hook into the next stitch here, and I will put this tail on the hook and I will crochet it together. So now I made 1 single crochet. Because I don't want to weave in the end, so I will crochet together with the tail. Then continue making single crochet in each stitch until you got 14 single crochets in total. So this is the second one, so I will have to make 12 more single crochets. Now I finished making 14 single crochets, and now there's only 1 stitch left, and in this last stitch make 1 single crochet. So in this hole you can see, insert your hook and make a single crochet. And to end this round, make a slip stitch in the first single crochet. So remove the stitch marker and make a slip stitch in that space. And you finish round 1. Now to start round 2, make 1 chain and put a stitch marker on that chain. Then we will make increased stitch for 2 times. So in this very first stitch, let's make the increased stitch. So make 1 single crochet. Since we want the increase, we will have to make 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. And now I finished making the increase stitch for one time. Since we went 2 times, I will make another increase stitch in this second stitch. So in this second stitch, make 2 single crochets together, and this becomes increase stitch for 2 times. Then after that, make 14 single crochets, which means make 1 single crochet in each and every stitch for 14 times. So you will get 14 single crochets. So now I finished making 14 single crochets. Now let's make increase stitch for 3 times. That means you will have to make increase stitch in the next 3 stitches. So now I'm making the first increase stitch. I'm making 2 single crochets together in this first stitch. Then I will make another increase in the second stitch, 1 single crochet, and then the second one in the same stitch. Now I finish increase for 2 times, and this is my last increase stitch in the third stitch. 1 and 2. Now I finished making increase stitch for 3 times, and I will continue making 14 single crochets until I reach the last stitch. So I finished making 14 single crochets, and I will make an increase stitch in the next stitch. So now I made 2 single crochets in this stitch, and you can see there's still a stitch left there, but we ignore that because it is a slip stitch stitch, so it doesn't count as a stitch to crochet. So instead we will just end this round 2. So make a slip stitch in the first single crochet or the chain 1 space, insert your hook like this, and make a slip stitch. And we finish round 2. Now let's continue round 3. Make 1 chain and put a stitch marker on that chain. Then we will repeat the pattern, which is making 1 single crochet in the first stitch and an increase stitch in the second stitch. We will repeat this pattern for 2 times. Now I made 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and I will make an increase stitch in the second stitch. So here, 1 single crochet, and also in the second one in the same stitch. So now I repeated the pattern for 1 time, and I will repeat this pattern for another time. 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and an increase stitch in the next stitch. So now I repeated the pattern for 2 times, and I will make 14 single crochets. So here I finished making 14 single crochets, and I will repeat the pattern, which is making 1 single crochet and an increase stitch in the next stitch. Now I made 1 single crochet, and I will make the increase stitch in the next stitch. You will have to repeat this pattern for 3 times. Now I repeat this pattern for 1 time, 1 single crochet and the increase stitch, and I will repeat this again. So make 1 single crochet and an increase stitch in the next stitch. Now I'm repeating this pattern for the second time, and I finish it, and I will repeat this again for the third time. 1 single crochet and then an increase stitch in the next stitch. Now I repeated this pattern for 3 times. Then after that, make 14 single crochets, and there will be 2 stitches left, these 2, and we will repeat that pattern on that last 2 stitches. So here I finished making 14 single crochets, and I will repeat the pattern, which is making 1 single crochet and an increase stitch next. So here I made 1 single crochet and then an increase stitch into the next stitch. You can see there's a stitch left after this pattern, but don't worry, just ignore it and then make a slip stitch into the chain 1 space to end round 3. So remove the stitch marker and insert your hook into the chain 1 space here and make a slip stitch. And round 3 is finished. To start round 4, make 1 chain and put a stitch marker back again. And this time we will make 2 single crochets and then an increase stitch in the 3rd stitch. Now I'm making the first single crochet in the 1st stitch, and I'll also make the 2nd single crochet in the 2nd stitch, but an increase stitch into the 3rd stitch. So in this 3rd stitch you will have to make 2 single crochets together. And now I repeated the pattern for 1 time, and I will repeat this again for the 2nd time. So make 1 single crochet and another 1 single crochet, and after these 2 single crochets make an increase stitch into the next stitch. Then after that make 14 single crochets. Here I finished making 14 single crochets, and now we will repeat the pattern, which is making 2 single crochets and an increase stitch in the 3rd stitch for 3 times in total. Now I made 2 single crochets, and in this 3rd stitch I made an increase stitch. So in this 3rd stitch I make 2 single crochets together, and I repeated the pattern for 1 time. I will have to repeat this for 2 more times. So make 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, then into the next 3rd stitch make an increase stitch. So here 2 single crochets and an increase stitch, and repeat this for 1 more time. 2 single crochets and then increase stitch in the 3rd stitch. Now we finish repeating the pattern and make 14 single crochets. After making 14 single crochets, let's repeat the pattern for 1 last time. Make 2 single crochets and an increase stitch next. And to end this round, make a slip stitch in the chain 1 space. And you finish this round. To start another round, chain 1 and put a stitch marker on that chain, and this time we will make 3 single crochets and an increase stitch next. So make 3 single crochets first, then after that make an increase stitch in the 4th stitch. We will repeat this pattern for 2 times. Now I finished making 3 single crochets, so make an increase stitch in the 4th stitch. Then repeat this pattern for 1 more time. Make 3 single crochets and an increase stitch in 4th stitch. So here, the 4th stitch, make an increase stitch. Then after that, make 14 single crochets. Now I finished making 14 single crochets, and we will repeat the pattern again, which is making 3 single crochets and an increased stitch in the next stitch. Repeat this pattern for 3 times. Now I'm repeating the pattern for the first time, 3 single crochets, and now the increased stitch in the next stitch. Then repeat for 2 more times, make 3 single crochets, and then make a single crochet increase in the 4th stitch. Now I finished repeating the pattern for the second time, and I will repeat this for the third time. 1, 2, 3, and an increased stitch in the next stitch. Then after this, make 14 single crochets as usual. Here I finished making 14 single crochets, and I will repeat this pattern for one last time. Make 3 single crochets and an increased stitch in the 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, and an increased stitch in the next stitch. Then to end this round, make a slip stitch in the chain 1 space. And you finish round 5. To start another round, make 1 chain, and this time we will just make 1 single crochet in each and every stitch without any increases. Just make 1 single crochet in each and every stitch, and when you reach the start, make a slip stitch in the chain 1 space. So here I'm at the start, and you can see that it is folding inside a bit, but it's okay, it's normal. Now let's make a slip stitch in the chain 1 space to end round 6. Now chain 1, and this is the last round. For this, make 40 single crochets first, then we will make ears for the bear and the cat. First make 40 single crochets. Now I finished making 40 single crochets, and let's make the bear's ear. We will make a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull the yarn and pull up. You got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. This is 1 double crochet. Now let's make triple crochet, yarn over 2 times, and insert your hook into the same stitch, and pull the yarn, and pull up. Now you got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the middle 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. And now you made 1 triple crochet. For the ear, you will have to make 3 triple crochets in this same stitch. So now I'm making the second one, yarn over 2 times, pull the yarn and pull up, then yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. And I will make the third one, yarn over 2 times, insert your hook in the same stitch, pull the yarn, pull up, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now I finished making 3 triple crochets, and lastly in this stitch make 1 double crochet, yarn over 1 time, pull the yarn, pull up, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Now you got one ear for the bear. And for the next pattern, make slip stitches for 12 times. And after 12 slip stitches, we will make the ear again. Now I finished making 12 slip stitches, so let's make the ear again. So in the next stitch, make 1 double crochet and 3 triple crochets in same stitch. Now I'm making the first triple crochet. This is the second one. And this will be the third one. Then make 1 double crochet in the same stitch. And now you finish the second ear. To end this round, make single crochets in the rest of the stitches. So make 4 single crochets, and lastly make a slip stitch in the chain 1 space. And now round 7 is finished, so chain 1 and cut the yarn and weave in the ends. After this, I will show you how to crochet the ear for the cat. For the Hello Kitty's ear, for round 7, chain 1 and make 40 single crochets like the bear. And now let's make the ear. Make 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 triple crochet in the same stitch. Then after this triple crochet, make 1 chain and then 1 triple crochet in the same stitch. And chain 1 and 1 triple crochet in the same stitch. And lastly, 1 double crochet. And now you got the ear for the cat. Then after that, make 12 slip stitches. And after 12 slip stitches, we will repeat the same ear pattern again. And to get the pointy ear, please pull the middle triple crochet so the ear will be pointy. After making 12 slip stitches, let's make the ear again. Make 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 triple crochet in the same stitch, after triple crochet, make 1 chain, then make 1 triple crochet in the same stitch, then chain 1 and make 1 triple crochet in the same stitch, and lastly make 1 double crochet in the same stitch. And remember to pull the middle triple crochet and shape the ear so it will be the cat's ear. Then after that, make 4 single crochet and then slip stitch in chain 1 space. Then after that, chain 1 and cut the yarn, and the cat coaster is finished. Now let's make the bear's nose. I'm gonna use 1 strand of the yarn with 4mm crochet hook. First, make a slip knot. Then after that, make 3 chains. After making 3 chains, skip 2 chains and make 12 double crochets in the 3rd chain. Now I made 1 double crochet, yarn over and insert your hook in the third chain, pull the yarn, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. This is the second double crochet. Continue making this until you got a total of 12 double crochets. Now I finished making 12 double crochets, so make a slip stitch in the first double crochet. Then after that, chain 1 and cut the yarn. I'm not gonna sew it because I'll just glue it, so I cut the yarn really shortly. But if you're gonna sew the nose on the bear, you can leave a long tail for sewing. Now I'm just weaving in the ends, and I will just stick it on the bear like this using glue. Now let's make the ribbon for Hello Kitty. Grab your pink yarn and make a slip knot. And again, I will just use one strand of the yarn with a 4mm crochet hook. Then after that, make 10 chains. After making 10 chains, skip 3 chains, and starting from the 4th chain, make a triple crochet. Yarn over 2 times, insert your hook into the 4th chain, pull the yarn, pull up, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. You will have to make 7 triple crochets, which means 1 triple crochet in each and every chain. After making triple crochets in each chain, make 3 chains and make a slip stitch in same stitch. Then after that, leave a long tail and bring that long tail to the middle using your hook. So on the round side, I'm bringing it to the middle. Now it is in the middle, so turn to the right side and wrap that tail in the middle of the bowl for several times like this. When you are satisfied with the wrapping, bring it to the round side and then secure the tail. And also don't forget to weave in the ends. Now you can stick the bow on the cat coaster. For the eyes, nose and whiskers, use felt. So draw the shape on the felt and cut it like this and glue it on the coaster. For the bear, I used 10mm size eyes for the eyes and the nose, and I glued them. But mine's are not safety eyes, they are flat on one side like this. So this is the end of the tutorial. I hope you will be able to make your own cute bear and Hello Kitty glass holders or coasters. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you all in my next video. Bye bye!